I live in the Kansas City area in Lenexa. I'm 38 years old, and the main symptoms that I have are anxiety, headache, right jaw pain, and right shoulder pain. So number one would be anxiety, and I've had that for as long as I can remember, since I was in my teens, and it affects my quality of life quite a bit. I'll have physical symptoms such as like where I'll start sweating and feeling like my heart beats out of my chest, my voice will quiver, things like that. And a lot of times it's more of whenever I'm put on the spot or like performance anxiety, but I feel like it is like a constant daily issue for me where I'm just kind of waiting for the next trigger to happen. I take a daily medication for it to kind of keep it at bay, and then if I feel like I know something is coming up, like or I have to give a speech or something like that, I'll take a little bit more of that medication. So if I take it as a daily regimen, it kind of keeps it at bay. If I don't take it, then it's I'll just generally, experience the trigger. It's just like inevitable for me. With the meds, I would say it would be a level 4 or 5. Without any meds, it would be like a 7 or 8. So for the second biggest issue that I have, it's the headaches, and it's pretty debilitating. It's on the right side, and oftentimes it will shoot up on the side of my head, and I'll feel it all through my head and kind of go up over it sometimes. So I've had headaches all my life that I can remember. Back whenever I was a teenager. It's gotten progressively worse over time, probably increasing pretty badly over the past 5 years. So the level of pain that I have with it is, typically like a 7 or 8 whenever they flare up. Over the past couple of months, I've had migraines on a weekly basis, and probably relief 1 to 2 days out of the week whenever I can really get the muscles calmed down. But I'll rotate Tylenol and ibuprofen and take muscle relaxers to try to really ease it out. By taking medication, trying to find a dark room, lying down, I feel like I have to constantly be like sedated in a way to just keep things from flaring up. So the third symptom that I have is my right jaw pain. On the right side, it's pretty intense. Yeah, it's just like a constant pain that I have right here. If I didn't have the headaches, I probably wouldn't do much to treat it, because I feel like I've learned to live with it at this point. But yeah, it's just a constant dull pain all the time. I've had that for probably 10 years. The level of pain that I'm in is probably like a constant 3 to 4. So it flares up on probably a weekly basis, and whenever the pain is more severe, it's probably like a 7 or 8. I probably could have pinpointed that out several years ago, but at this point it's constantly there, so I haven't really identified like what makes it worse. So the fourth symptom that gives me a lot of problems is my right shoulder pain, and so I have there's pain underneath my shoulder blade, but it also comes up over and reaches right here on my right arm. And for probably the past 4 years, I lost some mobility in it, and I wasn't able to reach as far back as my other arm. And I've been just working on that through massages and constant lifting weights and stretches and things like that. And I've gotten a little bit more mobility out of it, but it's something that, continues to bother me. I have pain. It's probably a 3 or 4 mostly, but sometimes it'll flare up to be even like a 7 or 8 sometimes. Maybe once a month, something like that. But I try to stay on top of the massages and just stretching, and I think that has helped out a lot. So my top symptoms, the biggest one that we talked about was my anxiety, And although I really haven't been put in a lot of situations where I would typically see that spike, I guess, you know, today we talked a little bit about little triggers that would make it spike, and so I noticed something today that would typically do that, and it didn't happen. My anxiety didn't spike, and I haven't taken my medication today. So what spiked it, what triggered it? This video. Just usually it's performance anxiety, so this would qualify as that. So the medicine that I take, typically I take like 10 milligrams of my medication every morning, and sometimes if I'm not anticipating performance anxiety or being in a situation that would make it spike, I would minimize that dose. So over the past week, here and there I've been taking half dose, and I haven't noticed any kind of spikes in anxiety with that too. Oh, this morning I haven't taken any medication. I would say 100% given the situation right here. So the second thing, top symptom was headaches. And I haven't had any within the past week, which is really good. I would notice that they would really come on from my jaw pain. Usually it would come up on my right side and come up over my head and really impact me, and then continue down the other side of my face. And I haven't had any headaches within the past week, so I would say 100% improvement. So the third thing that I had was the right jaw pain. Since the past week, I really haven't had any. I felt just like sore, like my muscles are sore on the side of the face, but not, I mean, it's super mild. It's not painful at all. So I would say maybe like 75% improvement there. And so the fourth symptom that I had was my right shoulder. I would have a lot of pain in my right shoulder. A lot of it was in the back part too. So I haven't had any pain within the past week. It feels more sore, and sometimes it feels like the symptoms are more like on the top and a little bit on the front side instead. But overall, I would say like 75% improvement. Yeah, other improvements that weren't my top ones, but they probably were related, is my sleep. So something that I've definitely noticed is in the mornings whenever I wake up, for years, like generally feel like very groggy and just really hard to get out of bed, really hard just to take that first step, almost like there's like a weighted blanket on me to keep me in bed. And over this past week, I've been amazed. I've been waking up before my alarm goes off and just like ready to go for the day. And also with that is my breathing. I've felt like that my sinuses, especially my right side, is almost like collapsed. That's how I felt over the past few years. Like it's always been difficult. I've even seen allergy doctors and things to see like if there's something going on in there. It's completely opened up. I would say 100% improvement with that. I like even noticing it during the daytime, I can breathe a whole lot better, but even at nighttime whenever I sleep, I just feel very open. And then another thing I noticed just like on my face when I look in the mirror, probably over the past 6 months, I've noticed that under my eye it started to droop a little bit, almost like even coming to a point right here, whereas this side of my face was just kind of curved under my eye. And this, like the past probably 2 days ago is whenever I noticed that this side, the point isn't there anymore, and it's actually starting to like even out and be more even. And even whenever I wear glasses usually during the day, so when I take them off, I'll notice a pretty big indentation on my nose just on one side. And now it's not, whenever I take my glasses off, it's both sides. It feels like it's more even because the indentation is both sides, and it's not, I guess it's mild. It's more balanced out, it feels, so. I'm doing really great. Yeah, I feel good. Okay, so anxiety, for the most part, I have noticed it being better. I think it was about 30% better than overall. A lot of that also has to do with my own emotional health and well-being, and so I'm just working on that myself, but it's great that I've seen an improvement in that. The other item was headaches, And that has dramatically gotten better. I've had just a couple headaches over the past couple of weeks. I know it's been a little bit since we have done an adjustment on my orthotic, and I've seen, and a little bit of time also since I've seen the physical therapist. So, but overall, I would say it's like 80% better. And then the jaw pain, along the same lines, about 80% better with that too. That's something that I don't have a lot of. Usually it's more of just like I can realize it's there on my right side is where I feel just maybe tension more often than just like pain for it. So I'm doing a lot better with jaw pain. And then last, I had a lot of problems with my shoulder pain, and I'd feel a lot of sensation and pain shooting up on the right side, which would lead to headaches and everything overall. That has dramatically improved as well. I'd say about 80% better. I'm still working with physical therapy, trying to like realign the muscles, but overall I'm doing a lot better. Balance was something that I just didn't understand, that I just never noticed how off I was until I got the orthotic, and my balance has improved dramatically. I feel like firm and steady. I've always felt a little wobbly. I do yoga now, and I can like stay in place and position, whereas I would be terrible at it before, like wobbling over to a side and just not being able to maintain balance. And so I'm just so grateful that I have the balance that I didn't even expect would be something to improve. So energy for sure. I don't even drink caffeine anymore, to be honest. And like I always felt like I had to wake up in the morning and get caffeine and get going. And I wake up just very much ready to go, refreshed, and I feel like I've had a really nice, restful, deep sleep in the mornings. Very groggy. I would feel like I didn't get enough sleep. I would sleep a lot, actually. Oftentimes on the weekends, I would sleep for 10 hours, 11 hours, because I always felt like I didn't get enough sleep. Whereas now, I generally wake up before my alarm goes off, and I'm just ready to go. So I would say I would used to feel like a 4 or 5 even. I'd always have to have like a substance to get me going, caffeine, something, you know, motivation there. And now my energy level, even throughout the day from whenever I wake up, is like, I would say 8 to 10. You know, of course, throughout the evening it's gonna go down, but whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm just ready to go. Well, yeah, I was a little bit skeptical in that I just really I was hopeful, but I also didn't want to like give up that hope, if that makes sense. So I came into this like with hope, but at the same time like, okay, if this doesn't work out, you know, we'll just see from there and try something else, because I've tried so much, seen so many doctors beforehand. So coming into it, yeah, I would say that's how it was. And then now, compared to now, I'm just like shouting from the rooftops, like how much this has helped me. So thank you. So for a lot of my symptoms that I had was anxiety, jaw pain, headaches, and also my right arm and shoulder pain. And so since I've started treatment, I would say that my anxiety has improved at least about 60%, headaches 100%, and my jaw pain probably about 80%. I actually don't even really have much jaw pain anyway. I just feel like a lot of sensations, and I feel like that's more related also to like my continuing shoulder and arm pain as I'm working with physical therapy. That's also improved quite a bit though. So the arm and shoulder pain, I think that actually is about 70 or 80%, I would say. So I feel like everything is starting to get back in balance and improve, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, I think coming into this, my expectations was I was hoping to have full relief of my headaches. That was really what was bringing me down over the course of last year. So it's pretty exciting that I can say that I have like 100% improvement in that. I'm really grateful for that. So that was my main expectation. I didn't really expect other things to also improve, such as like my balance, like we talked about. That was actually pretty amazing because I love to go walking, I love yoga, and I've always felt a little like unsteady and wobbly at times, and my energy levels have improved so much, and my sleep. Those are things that I didn't really expect, and now whenever I wake up in the morning, I feel rested. I don't feel like I need to continue and hit snooze all the time and stay in bed. I have so much energy right in the morning, and I don't even drink caffeine anymore. I always had to get my cup of coffee in at least 1 to 2 cups, and I don't even need to have that anymore. So to see that improve that was just amazing.